The Evergrande crisis is storming through the world these days. There is panic and confusion. There is an uncertainty about how things might unfold in the coming days. It's perfectly understandable for companies to go through ups and downs. However, with Evergrande, things are a bit more than the company just having a downtime. This crisis might lead to an ultimate fall of the company. That's the reason for the wide hue and cry regarding this crisis. Evergrande is not an isolated case of failure. It is the tip of a big economic distress which is about to start or perhaps already started. And guys, if Evergrande fails to survive, it might not be a problem only to the co-founder Hui Kenyan. Probably it is going to cause a disaster in the Chinese economy and the repercussions might reach the world economy as well. So now let's get to the bottom of this matter. Actually, I think it is only a matter of time before we realize that the Evergrande crisis was just a start. Financial sector is flooded with news and speculations about the company. Evergrande is discussing whether it will survive the crisis or not. What if it does not? What if Evergrande, the 306 billion assets worth company, fails? Shouldn't we actually think about what can happen if it fails and be prepared for that? Evergrande went through a breakneck expansion of its business by taking credit. While the firm was already immersed in debt, it is the second largest real estate developer of China. So imagine the amount of debt the firm had acquired for its expansions. The company employs more than 200,000 people. It has around 1300 real estate projects going on in China in more than 250 cities. And currently Evergrande has a liability of $300 billion. If Evergrande goes down, it is going to take the banking sector down with it. With so much debt, the company is liable to more than 128 banks and 121 non-banking institutions. These banks won't survive. The only way out would be the government infusing some money into the banks to keep them alive. 1.6 million buyers have deposited their money with Evergrande for homes. This company going out of business means that the individual investors' money will be at stake. Also, China is very particular about protecting individual investors, so they might make arrangements either to give their money back or get their homes built by any other developer. Lots of people will lose their jobs, and most importantly, there will be an absence of a giant developer in the economy who had been building so many homes and infrastructure across China. Another effect will be on the stock market. Already Evergrande stocks has lost almost 80% of its value in the market. If it fails completely, a lot of investors are going to take the losses. Since Evergrande is a top developer of China who has been in the markets for decades, with strong profits shown in books, a lot of people had invested for long term. These investors will lose their long-term stock asset. Even now there are no buyers in the market. Those who has a lot of shares are going to face the losses. There are some immediate effects of Evergrande going into a fall. However, things would be much more complicated than these. In a big picture, the Chinese economy is highly dependent on the real estate sector. It's not just the Evergrande which is in trouble. Many more developers like Scenic Holdings, China Property Group and Fantasia have defaulted. Like a chain reaction, if Evergrande fails to recoup, all the other developers who are struggling are going to give up immediately. If a giant like China fails, there won't be much options for other developers to sail through. So guys, with so many developers falling at the same time, the real estate sector will absolutely crash. Home prices which are already decreasing will reach its record low. Home sales numbers will decrease. Even those real estate developers who are doing fairly good will get into trouble with these market conditions. People will stop buying homes, they will stop investing in homes and resales will not happen for the time being. This will lead to a total pause of the real estate sector. When the real estate sector stops generating income, the GDP of China will be badly affected. As we all know, 29% of the GDP comes from the real estate sector in China. So the country's GDP will be affected badly if Evergrande falls. For years, China's real estate market was over-leveraged. If there was ever going to be a problem in Chinese economy, it was supposed to be from the real estate sector. Also, the political environment in China is as such not helpful for tycoons like Evergrande these days. Chinese government is much less tolerant towards their activities, whether it is legal or illegal. Few years back, Evergrande and Hui Kenyan had great influence on the government and many things regarding the country. It is a well-acknowledged fact that the real estate sector in China is favored by government for a bunch of individuals. Local government sells land to government-affiliated or favored developers. These developers get financing from state-affiliated banks or financial institutions. This is the business model the country had been following for decades now. The government very well knows that this approach will not help the economy for long term. So the tycoons are sidelined by the government recently to change up the dynamics of the ongoing flawed system. Of late, there had been restrictions put upon the debt-taking ability of the companies. There were also limits declared for people in owning more than one home at particular areas. So if there's a fall for Evergrande, it is not just one company's fate, it is going to be spiraled on to many other giant developers in the market. So government's intervention can be least expected, which means bailouts might never happen. The most that the government might do is to try to help the banks to avoid the collapse of banking system. Considering the gravity of the situation, it is difficult to gauge how easy it will be for the government to help the banking system. There are also discussions regarding the government taking this as an opportunity to have more control over the entire system. Chinese government is trying to get more and more things under the centralized control. So they might let Evergrande sink and call this as a reason for the nationalization of the sector. That is very likely to happen, as this is something which goes with the recent Common Prosperity campaign. Getting the real estate sector under government's control means more affordable homes for the people of China. Overall, the Chinese government feels that it is their responsibility in a state-led economy to guide all the economic activities. And guys, another major fear factor about the fall of Evergrande, if it fails, is that it might repeat the history of Lehman Brothers, which happened in 2008. The Lehman crisis caused the whole world economy to go into recession, and it took years for everything to come back to normal. Lehman was in $619 billion of debt. Evergrande's debt is only half of that. This doesn't mean that the repercussions might be less. The same way Lehman crisis caused the US banks to crash, Evergrande might cause banks to crash in China as well. The scary part is that the debt numbers that we know of might not be real numbers in the situation. That is something to be mindful of. In China, illegal borrowings are very much existent, and we can't rule out the fact that Evergrande has unaccounted debts in their operations. So with so much control and intervention from the government in the Chinese economy, the ripples of this crash, if there's a crash, will be mostly contained within China. Of course, there will be a spillover to the world economy as well. It won't be as dramatic as the Lehman crisis. Rather, this will result in a long-term drag on the economy, so consumers might suffer. They might go through investment loss for some years. Supply chain may suffer, the purchasing power of the economy may come down. If there is a fall for Evergrande, it will not affect the world economy as much as the ongoing energy crisis in China might do. As for now, the company has saved itself from two potential defaults, so it's very unlikely that a total fall of the entire company is happening soon. Hui Kenyan would do his best and sort all the possible ways to save his empire. Now everyone, if you want to deeply understand what Evergrande recently did to save itself from being defaulted, then you should check out this video.